on the new maps, just so we can get as much testing as possible. Hecate is a filler map, because there's only 6 maps, and we need 7 for proper vetoes and for a best of 7 as well. So it is a filler map. It is added to this event, to the KSRC, to the Pig Monday as well, and that's where we start. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Hecate, we have the red Terran player from South Korea representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, but deserving to be on the team, the American Protoss. It is Astrea. We go. Don't think that was the normal gases 3 hatch. Not quite, not quite. As was pointed out in the chat, and something that I should have pointed out as well, is that the link speed finished at, I think it was the 4-minute 30 mark, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 4-minute 30 link speed timing, because it was later gas. It was a later gas for Yakov, which didn't help either, right? Because that's why the initial Stalkers were doing so much, because link speed was so much later. So true. That also did add to how heavily Astrea was snowballing out of control. But for now, we're settling in. Alright, settling into Hecate. So now ByuN is going to be opening up double gas. So double gas open out of ByuN, going for a Rax into a factory. Likewise, Astrea back at home, just going for a standard gate into Cybercore into Nexus. Or sorry, gate expand into Cybercore. So standard open out of Astrea, something a little bit more tech heavy from ByuN. Astrea does confirm with the probe, but the probe is locked in, and Astrea will have to recall to save the worker. Speaking of, show us the recall. Up. 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 Not quite. Never mind. The Reaper has arrived and the probe is going to die. Yeah, the probe is going to fall. No recall here to save it. Smoge, baby, Smoge. Feels probe, man. Feels pro. As we have yet to embrace our tech of choice, it's going to be hidden here behind the mineral line. And it is going to be the Stargate. Let's go. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of Astrea. And again, welcome one and all to Hecate. I believe this map was active back in, was it 2020? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just kind of ballparking when Hecate was active, but it was in the like relative recent time of like the post-COVID era, or the COVID era of StarCraft, around like 2020, maybe 2021. So it's been a couple of years. Been a couple of years since we have played on Hecate. Good to see it again. I don't mind if this map returned for the next season. Look, I've said this before. I would not mind if every now and then, especially at the end of the year, Bappy, give us the dream pool. It would be really cool if during the off season they use some of these older maps, right? Like I feel like this has been echoed, this sentiment has been echoed in the past, where it's a shame that so much time and effort gets put into making some of these maps, and we see it for a season and we never see it again, right? We never see it again. There are some exceptions, like OSC tournaments. They do bring back, you know, Romanticide or Cosmic Sapphire or 2000 Atmospheres every now and then. But it would be really cool if it came back in an official fashion, right? Like I would not be opposed to like an end of year like all-star lineup, you know, like the dream pool, and bring back, you know, some of these maps that are near and dear to our hearts, just you know, for the off season. For the off season. Meanwhile, ByuN coming in with the mine drop. Wind mine here towards the natural, double wind mine drop into the main. So far, no major damage, getting one probe kill. Likewise across the map, Oracle wreaking havoc as well. Up. There's still one more shot left. And we do force a lot of lost mining time here. And mining time is denied. Oracle gets 4 SCVs, is forced out. Oracle survives. And ByuN still has that one wind mine. Another drop. Up. And likewise retargets, gets another probe. And again, Astrea, he's just having a really hard time dealing with this. Another mine shot going off. Another probe. And the Metaverse escape. Oh my god. And they barely got... No! Oh my god, they stacked up for a moment there. Thankfully, no retargeting. That could have been disastrous. That could have been game then and there. The probes, they were stacked. A Stalker goes down instead. ByuN gets out, and Astrea holds. Astrea does hold. That could have been disastrous. As ByuN is able to borrow in time, he will lose both of these Widow Mines just barely, though. And as the dust settles, where exactly are we? It was an Oracle opener out of Astrea into Blink. In total, 5 probes went down, 4 SCVs, but we also have to factor in the delayed mining time. There was so much lost mining time here at the natural. Astrea having a hard time dealing with that initial drop. Now he has gained map control, trying to contain his opponent, gets a full scout, gets eyes on the 3-1-1 setup. And it's going to be on Astrea to contain and to delay any kind of move out, as Astrea takes the third. Meanwhile, Raven harass here into the main. Getting 1 probe so far. Up. Almost a second. Just the 1 worker. The Phoenix! No! Oh my god. that was insane. Phoenix barely survives. Will snipe the Raven. Get Astrea just getting his third base up and running. Taking into charge Archons and Storm. Astrea is taking up, but ByuN will soon move out once Stim kicks in. As Stim is on the horizon, 2 more Raxes getting up to a 5-rack setup. Cyclone goes down. Astrea does preserve his Stalkers, but this is looking quite committed here for ByuN. Still no 3rd TC. Looking very committed here. I mean, it would make sense considering that ByuN knows he did quite a bit of economic damage early on. So he might believe that his opponent is vulnerable here. But now just going for drop play. Never mind. He's moving out with his drops. Likewise, Astrea setting up some spotter pylons. Is on patrol. Storm is halfway done. He's getting there. Just needs a little bit more time. ByuN breaks out. Up! Stasis goes off. Catches out most of the army. Very nice stasis here from Astrea. And barely gets a Marauder. Trading 1 for 1. Double drop towards the main. Ooh, recall is not available here in the main base either, though. The drop gets in, and Astrea, he turns everything back around. Pylon goes down. Goes for the Templar Archives. Oh, and it looks like he will be able to snipe it. Massive Storm. Up! Oh, barely does get it with the final shot. But it's going to cost ByuN the entirety of that double drop. At the same time, ByuN sends his reinforcements here towards the 3rd. Does rally in. There's that recall. Up. Mine shots going up. Storm connects. Astrea holds. Whew. Astrea is holding on, but again, ByuN is committed. Still no 3rd TC. It's all or nothing for ByuN. It is a 2-base all-in, as Astrea is getting a 4th. Astrea is getting a 4th base. ByuN rallying towards the 4th as well. Still outside the 3rd. Jumping into the main. Astrea is keeping up for now, but for how much longer? Okay, Astrea does split up his High Templar. Has split up his Storms. Oh my god. Storm goes off, but the army is being broken. Also, I apologize, I just realized I did not open the predictions. So, I was engrossed in the story about the dream pool. I was dreaming. But it looks like the 3rd base has been broken. The 3rd base, it's going to be going down. It is close, I should say. A Templar coming in. A pretty insane Storm. Oh my god. ByuN does sit in it. 3rd base goes down, but Astrea, he has a 4th. He just rallies over. Saturates the 4th base instead. Astrea, he's still maintaining his economy. Meanwhile, ByuN is still all in. He's still all in, but the longer this goes on, the better it is for Astrea. ByuN here refuses to back off. Rotates over. Widowmine drop into the natural. Astrea does fall away in time. 1 probe kill. Oh, it's a lot of Widowmines. Mine shots going off. There are 2 High Templar left for Astrea. Down to 2. Another mine drop. ByuN rotating. Now getting his third base on location. It's going to be delayed here by the Adept. Nice moves by Astrea. Ooh, brutal storms. Storms do connect. Another storm on the main army. Astrea trying to collapse on this, but oh, the mine shots! Mine shots go up, Zealots go down. There's maybe one storm left. And there's just not enough Protoss. Not enough Gateway Army here, or is there? It's still so close. ByuN gets into the mineral line, probes are falling. The army is heavily overstimmed. But he snipes a High Templar, he gets one. Doesn't quite get the other. That's still 7 workers. But ByuN finally, he's expanding. Finally, he realizes he cannot break Astrea. He's still trying though. Up. So the drop finally goes down. ByuN's still rallying across the map. He's still not stopping. He might be expanding, but the army, he has no chill. No chill whatsoever. Observer does confirm. Astrea's ready. Oh, does have a storm. Oh my god, 2 storms even. The layered storms are brutal. Astrea, he blinks in, takes down the Marauders. This is not a pretty trade here for Astrea, but he does come out on top. Oh, the mine shots. Oof. Goes looking away. The control is good. One Stalker goes down. But Astrea, he's holding. He's holding on. ByuN gets his third. His third base is getting up and running, and now we need a 4th base for Astrea. You could now argue that this 4th base is late, considering we're now at an even base count. Plus mules for ByuN. And I would say that at this point, even though ByuN is now forced into a longer game state, he is still in a good position. He's still been able to maintain himself. He's on 3 bases. Ghost production has begun. Ghost Academy is done. I do give the edge to ByuN here as he's moving out. I'm just concerned about the lack of splash damage for Astrea. He's been barely holding on, but he's been trading out unit after unit. He has 0 High Templar left. He has 1 Colossus on the way. And currently no storm. Nice force fields though. Force fields on the ramp. Mine shots up. Gonna be going up. Astrea is holding on. He gets 11 SCVs across the map. Very nice damage by the Zealots. They're still going. 14 SCVs. But ByuN is pushing in. Denies the 4th. That's a massive pickup. Meanwhile, did I say 14? 16! 16 SVs go down. Astrea forced to expand elsewhere. Towards the left-hand side. Building up more Colossus. Still no other High Templar. I mean, High Templar, they aren't as effective anymore because now they're a Ghost, now there are EMPs. True. And the players, they're finally calming down for only a moment here. As ByuN is still pushing through. How many ghosts does he have? 4. He's got 4 ghosts. Looking for those EMPs. Oh. We'll connect with most of the Stalkers. Force field misplaced. No! The force fields! They were misplaced. They dive on in. And Colossus are exposed. And it looks like ByuN, he might just have enough. Again, just very chaotic force fields there out of Astrea. He will hold. But this is not the fight he was hoping for. It does catch all the ghosts, though. The ghosts get lifted. Astrea holds. A very messy fight. ByuN backs off. He escapes with his Medivacs. Now getting into Viking production. Calm down, Poppy. Calm down. Breathe. Now, Astrea's 4th base has successfully gotten up and running. ByuN is unaware. This better be good. But I'm sure now he has an inkling of the 4th base, knocking down those rocks. Dev counterattack gets shut down. ByuN, he picks up the main, landing it as a 4th. ByuN, he will maintain himself. Still very committed because of this. And soon he can do the same to the natural. Like, he's about to run out of resources here at the natural, so he can just take a 5th. Can use it as a 5th. To keep himself going. Likewise, Astrea getting his own 5th base. Zelaromite slips in. Pulls back the entire army. And again, more importantly, just giving Astrea more time to build up. And what has he built up? He's now on 2 Colossus, has a couple of Phoenixes, getting into now a more heavy Immortal-based army. I mean, Astrea had a choice to make, and in the PTR in the new patch, the Disruptor isn't as effective against Bio as it used to be. So no Disruptors yet here from Astrea. Going into Immortals. Meanwhile, the army dives in, denies the stasis trap. That's a hefty Bio army. The 5th base is going to go down. There's no saving it. At the same time, though, Zelaromite denies the 4th. Not bad. In a way, trading a base for a base. Ooh, brutally EMP here on the Colossus. That's a kill! Oh, it was not lifted. That's a kill, not a cancel, not a lift on the 4th base. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN, not quite paying attention there. Zealot's taking it into the mineral line. SCV's going down. ByuN, he turns around. He races back home. Astrea, he's doing it. Can he get the ghost? He can. 1 ghost goes down. Every ghost counts. ByuN now is on 2 bases. He's on 2. Losing a Viking. Oh, another ghost. A very nice snipe there from Astrea. Doesn't lose anything. Meanwhile, stasis traps, they are set up. Speaking of, up! Yeah, ByuN stims in. Takes stasis to the face. Not bad. Another stasis behind this, catching reinforcements. And Astrea, he can collapse in. He will take this fight. Yeah, the stasis traps are brutal. And ByuN, GG gets called. He doesn't take the final fight here, as Astrea will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Oh my god. that was an intense game. Almost no room to breathe there. GG, well played Astrea. He holds, he's able to counterattack. He killed the 4th expansion, or I guess the main that was landed over. Got the mineral line. And towards the end there, he just picked the army apart with those stasis traps. GG. GG, well played. Astrea does take a lead. But as a reminder, this is a best of 5. It is a best of 5. Plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more games to come. Oh boy. Here we go. There's at least 2 more. At least 2 more. I'm hoping for 3, maybe 4. And give us a series, man. Here we go. As I don't blame our players. They need a moment to breathe here. They need to calm things down before jumping into game 2. That was the best I've seen Astrea play. I do recommend watching some of Astrea's matches over the past, I want to say, yeah, ever since the off-season, I'll be honest. Like, the past 4 or so weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks, Astrea's been looking really strong. For those that maybe don't tune into some of the other European weeklies, Astrea, he most recently 2-0'd Max Packs, and he 2-1 Max Packs in the same week. That was in KSRC and the Pigosor Monday as well. Astrea actually defeated ByuN, what was it, like 3 weeks ago? But these are all like recent results. And what I'm alluding to is because Astrea did spend some time in Korea in the lead up to EWC, it does feel like that practice has finally been paying off. That practice has been paying off here. Like, Astrea has been on the grind as well. I don't remember Astrea being so active, but again, during this off-season, during the off-season of EPT, Astrea is playing in so many weekly tournaments, and he's been getting better and better results. It's been really cool to see. It's been really cool to see the growth of Astrea over the past couple of months. Has been very impressive. Very impressive. But now we're getting into game 2, and we're still hoping for a back and forth here. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the American Protoss player, the Red Protoss. Leading the series 1-0, it is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion from South Korea. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can create a series out of this. It is ByuN. Also, I just realized I pressed the wrong buttons. Hold on. There we go. It's fine, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Getting into game 2. ByuN once again opening up double gas. Double gas opener out of ByuN is going to lead into a faster factory. Last game we saw this led into a more committed Widowmine drop. It was 3 Widowmines if you remember. 3 Widowmines, and I mean that started the aggression of ByuN. That just was almost unrelenting. The mine drops into the move outs. Astrea, he will confirm that it is a double gas opener. And back at home he's just settling into his own build. But yeah, it was Astrea, Trigger, Future, and Clem. They were all living together. They were all living together in Korea. This was in the lead up to EWC. This was a couple of months ago, and they were all on that grind. It was basically like an NA team house in Korea, and Clem was adopted by all the NA boys, and they were practicing all very, very hard. They were, of course, were improving together. And in the aftermath of EWC, it does feel like not just Clem, of course, who is the best player in the world currently and the world champion, but Astrea and Trigger, they both did level up as well. Unfortunately, Trigger didn't compete in EWC, and Astrea did as well, but like you got to see a little bit less from them. In the aftermath of that, like you have kind of seen that kind of now pay off, and yeah, they've been looking better than they have in a while, I feel. Both Astrea and Trigger. Both have been looking good in these online cups. So now we are going to be settling in. But now we have our 1-1-1 setup here at a ByuN. And we'll see what kind of opener we go for this time as the probe is in position. And in the previous game, it was a Stargate opener into Oracle. This time, Twilight Council. So Astrea is going for Blink Stalkers. Is going for Blink Stalkers instead. Hello, ByuN. As ByuN does get a spotter depot here towards the right-hand side. Once again, setting up for a Widowmine drop. As the Widowmines are on the way, alongside the medevac. I mean, we saw how successful ByuN was with his initial Widowmine drop in game, but oh, that's around! Oh my god. As Astrea, he does come in, does punish the Reaper, and the Reaper goes down, but I believe ByuN did get the scout up. Yeah, ByuN, he did spot the Twilight Council, so now ByuN is aware of Blink Stalkers. So on the one hand, it was a nice pick off there by Astrea, but ByuN, he got what he wanted. He got the scout. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. As we have additional gateways on the way, it's going to be so far 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink Stalkers from Astrea. No 4th gateway for the time being. With this, Astrea, he should gain map control. He can also move out. He can try to poke in, try to pick off a couple of key units here and there, any stray units, I should say, and try to contain ByuN. That is, of course, going to be after the mine drop, though, as the mine drop is on the way. This time, it's less committed. Remember, in game 1, it was a triple Widowmine drop. This time, double. So 2 Widowmines. Hallucination does get eyes on the drop itself. Astrea is keeping up, does rotate, and he will deny. And it isn't just about denying the Widowmine drop, but it also denies the scouting, as ByuN is still a little bit in the dark as what's going on. He has seen 3 gateways so far, but he doesn't know if there's a 4th gateway. He doesn't know if there's a 3rd nexus. ByuN is still trying to piece it all together. Yo, imagine a map with, like, neutral vortexes, which, like, just suck in units. Oh my god. I don't think we've seen that before. We've had neutral missile turrets. We've had lava, of course. But imagine. Jesus. That'd be crazy. And obviously, like, they, like, turn on and off, like, in, like, I don't know, like, 20-second intervals or something. Or 30-second intervals. I don't know, in my brain, when I saw the medevac going over the vortex, it just, oh god. It's a nice visual, though. I do appreciate this about Ultra Love. Making use of an otherwise, like, asset that isn't in the game anymore, right? Like, You know, when was the last time we saw a vortex in competitive game? So, yeah, just a really good use of it. I appreciate it. As behind this, Astrea again, 3-gate blink into a third base getting saturated, taking up in towards a bay. Last game we saw Astrea rush into Storm. This time he's going to be rushing into Colossus instead. So is adjusting and is mixing up his play, as we do get 4 probe kills here at the third. Very nice damage out of ByuN. Gets 4 probes. Raven's still alive. Widowmine drop is still outside of the main as well. So really patient play here out of ByuN. ByuN, he doesn't, you know, have too much urgency to go in with the Widowmines. He's waiting for the opportune moment, waiting for a distraction. And then he'll go in. Very disciplined play, I should say, from ByuN. As Yami moves out, Astrea, of course, focusing on his control, does pull away. ByuN going to be reinforcing. No third CC yet. Does break out. There is a sentry. There are force fields. Oh, speaking of, yeah, the army is sliced up and the Marines are getting picked up. Not a bad fight there out of Astrea, but he still is going to be overwhelmed. Ooh, Stalkers are going down. Where's the Colossus? Colossus now does arrive. Second Colossus on the way. ByuN rotating, getting caught out though. Losing a Marauder. Tank is on siege. Colossus, they go ham here on the Marines. Marines are falling. Man army being forced back. But ByuN, he can't keep pushing. He's going to be forced to pick up. Meanwhile, as he picks up a massive shout to Cosmos. Papi, fala galera, fala galera. Obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. And welcome. Bienvenidos, one and all, to the grand finals of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Here we have a best of 5 between Astrea and ByuN. It's been a very intense series so far. And we're still in the early hours here, or the early games of the series. Ooh, Stalkers are getting picked up. Mindshot does connect. And ByuN, can he get on top of the Colossus? Barely not. Second Colossus arrives just in time. Astrea, he holds. ByuN now getting his third base on location. It's a very late third. That's why it's on location. As once again, ByuN was hyper-aggressive. Stims on in. He wants a Colossus. Oh, and he gets it. He will barely get it as well. Slaps a Colossus, getting on top of the 4th Nexus. Forcing a cancel. Very nice pickups here from the Terran. Finally, he gains the value he was looking for. Astrea did overextend. The Prism was a little bit too late. From here, ByuN can back up. Astrea expands with left-hand side instead. And now it's time for Astrea to counterattack. Now he can reinforce with that War Prism. He also has extra micro potential to save the Colossus. Zells, they get eyes on the 3rd. And does Astrea feel confident enough to push in? Can he break this position? There's going to be 1 tank, no bunkers, no SimCity, a couple of Vikings. Astrea waiting for a move out. Does find the army. And does force field as well. Of course, taking a lot of hits. Marines go down. With help of the Prism, he should be able to save the Colossus. And these are going to be better trades for Astrea. Breaks through the Marines. Zealot reinforcements have arrived. And ByuN's in trouble. Oof. Even forcing a bit of friendly fire. ByuN, he has to back off. And again, he barely has an army left. Well, some autos harass. And Astrea, can he go for the kill? The boys have to be pulled. Oh, the force fields. Yeah, they lock back the Marauders. So far, good control. Prism almost goes down. Prism gets sniped. And the Colossus is exposed. Viking goes down. Colossus gets saved. And Astrea, he's done it. He has broken the back of ByuN. That's 19 SCV kills. Again, ByuN was so aggressive earlier. Now he's being punished for it. Oh, the mules, they're not able to mine. 3rd base is denied. And Astrea is looking to take a 2-0 lead in this series. ByuN trying to hold on. Is going to be stuck on 2 bases. Raises back with the Raven. Oh, he sims in. He wants a Colossus. He gets it. 1 Colossus goes down. Zealot reinforces it with just a little bit too late. ByuN is still in this. He's still fighting. Still fighting his heart out. Astrea, he's running out of Zealots, running out of buffer. He has to get the hell out of here. Yeah, Astrea, he has overextended. He's stuck around a little bit too long. Has to pull away. ByuN holds. Whew. ByuN does barely hold on. He's muling his heart out. He has a lot of recovering to do. Even though ByuN holds, look at the economy. 75 probes for Astrea. 75. It's crazy. The only thing keeping ByuN alive there was lack of Warp Prism. You can see just how far away the Warp Pins are. So reinforcements took so long for Astrea. If Astrea had kept the Prism alive, then that could have been it then and there. That could have been game. Alas, ByuN sniped it, dropping into the main base. Astrea, he has to respond. Probes are going down. Pretty good damage here by ByuN. Gets almost the entire mineral line. 12 probe kills. Oh my god. Gets 12 probes, gets away. But at the same time, Zelaramba here into the third. Only getting 5 SCVs though. ByuN is bouncing back. But a Zel drop into the main, and ByuN, he doesn't really have the units here in position to defend. ByuN can't afford these losses. Like, the drop was good for ByuN, but Astrea, he does an even amount of damage here. Does an equivalent amount of damage across the map. Gets 12 SCVs. Distracts the army. Gets away with the Warp Prism. Oh my god, the force fields are brutal. Nice pick up though. The micro. ByuN, he gets away. Dropping in towards the main. Oh my god. Does pull back. And as he pulls back, a shout out to SC2 in the chat for resubscribing with Twitch Prime for 9 months. God, baby God. Thank you so much for resubscribing. We do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you. Thank you for the support. As the triple drop is still here outside of the main. Likewise, ByuN, he is catching up in army supply, now getting into ghost production. 4 CC is on the way. Again, earlier, ByuN, he was so close to being broken, but he is holding on, and he's recovering. Now, Astrea still has a lead. Don't get me wrong, Astrea, he still has the advantage. But ByuN is on the road to recovery. He still needs a couple of better trades, a couple of better pickoffs. Drops into the main. And we'll catch a couple of Stalkers. Likewise, Zelaramba catches Marines, but doesn't quite get anything else as the Ghost should survive. Oh! Barely does. Ghost lives. Triple drop here on the left-hand side, and Astrea's being pulled apart. He's out of position. Completely out of position. Force a recall. Again, Astrea, he spreads so thin. Gets a medevac. But he has to defend the main, the 4th base. Dropping across the map. Getting some SCVs. Not bad. Honestly, the Warp Prism has been the MVP. Time and time again. 5, 6, 7 SCV kills here and there. Just making sure that ByuN doesn't fully recover, and here comes the main army. Astrea, he's had enough defending. He's had enough. The Colossus Swipe's being wasted on the CC. Has to bring it together here. Results are cleaned up. Astrea, he pulls back. The Warp Prism did go down. So no Warp Prism for Astrea, getting into Disruptors, getting another expansion. Army tries to break out, gets caught though, never goes up. Doesn't connect. Nice snipe from ByuN. Gets a Disruptor. Chasing down the Colossus. The Vikings, where's the anti-air? Vikings, they get 1 Colossus, they're going for the other as well. Oh, they barely don't get it. Barely not. Astrea barely gets away. Gets away, man. ByuN now taking a 4th. Is going to be an orbital. Bold move. Quite greedy. He's going for the 4th base. Medevac still being active. Distracting Astrea. Astrea doesn't know that this is empty. Does pick it up. Drops into the main. But Astrea should finally clean this up. Main army maneuvering on the right-hand side. The Observer does spot this. Astrea spots a rotation, trying to keep up. He's got how many Disruptors? 2. Oh, only 2 Disruptors. Stargate's on the way. Astrea, he's thinking about Sky Toss. Working on that Sky Toss. Get 6 probes. Zels get cleaned up. Astrea will be the first to max out. Actually, my apologies, going into Phoenixes. I mean, that will help deal with these drops. True. They've been so annoying. ByuN, he dust him in. Once again, Nova is denied. The force field's pretty good, though, and the army is choked up. But we're running out of zealots. GG gets called, though. Astrea, he will take the fight in the end, and Astrea takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. Oh, my God. ByuN, though, he refused to go down that game for so long. He was holding off for so long. Alas, we saw him plummet in supply there. He went down to 100 army supply. Compared to the 160 of Astrea, it was still a better fight in favor of the Protoss. And ByuN, he ran out of steam. And with that, we're on match point. We're on match point. Astrea, he is one game away from taking down ByuN 3-0. ByuN has been so aggressive this series, so aggressive, so assertive. And I mean, to be fair, ByuN has been so close to breaking Astrea as well, especially in game 1, but also in game 2. It's been very chaotic. And now we find ourselves in the most vetoed map in the map pool. You know what it is. We're going to be loading into El Dorado. Let's go. A very rare map. We see it like, if we're lucky, we see it once a tournament. Speaking of, we're seeing it once this tournament. Like once a tournament in a best of 5 is when we usually do see it. So exciting stuff here. Gonna be loading into El Dorado. It was the same in the Pigosaur Monday earlier this week, where we also saw El Dorado in the finals between Shin and Max Pax. Here we go. So bad there was no prediction. There was. Am I crazy? Predictions, yeah, they opened up earlier. If you missed them, Pappy, mates, what's going on? Currently predictions are, let's have a look here. They're 53-47. 53% in favor of ByuN, 47% in favor of Astrea. As we're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the red Terran player, South Korean Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion down in this series. Can he bounce back? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing himself, currently teamless, but one game away from becoming our champion this week. It is Astrea. Let's go. Now, to be fair, if you remember, the predictions were a little bit late to be opened. They did open up like 5 minutes into Hecate. So in the middle of the Hecate game is when they opened. I'll say 7 minutes into Hecate. Here we go. As once again, ByuN opening up double gas, has done so every game so far in this series, and we've seen different variations of Widowmine drop. Game 1 was a triple Widowmine drop, Game 2 was just 2, Game 3, how many Widowmines, or a drop at all? We'll find out. More people bet on ByuN because it looks so good for him. Yeah, you're not wrong. If you remember, when I opened up the predictions in Hecate, it was when ByuN was ahead. Like, ByuN had just denied the 4th base, if I remember correctly, and he had traded well against the army of Astrea, and he was still just rallying across the map. Like, it was, man, game 1 was wild. it was crazy. Here we go. As the probe is going to be locked into the main. We'll see if Astrea does opt to recall or not. The Reaper has arrived, it's going to go down. Probe will not be saved. And across the map we do have Astrea just getting to its own opener as well. As a reminder, Game 1, Astrea did open up Stargate into Oracle. Game 2 was 3-gate Blink with Twilight Council. Here in Game 3, what do we have? Also, I should talk about the map a little bit as well, because I'm sure there are some of you that maybe have not seen El Dorado because it is so often vetoed. But welcome to the new Golden Wall. It is a smaller map than Golden Wall. Bear that in mind. Golden Wall, of course, was a very similar map to this many years ago in the ladder map pool, as we do have 2 gold bases. 2 gold bases here at the center. They are delayed and blocked off by these mineral patches. Likewise, you can also harass from the opposite end of the wall, as this entire southern section is walled off by minerals. Gold minerals, regular mineral patches, even we have a thin mineral patch here in the center of the map as well, so you have to mine through these patches to gain access to this southern half. Similar to Alkiona in that sense, I suppose. And because there are minerals here at the natural location, you can take your third at the triangular third location instead. We also have seen a lot of players take their fourth bases as the gold on the other side. Meanwhile, Hellion does get into the mineral line. Probes are going down. Oh my god. 2 probe kills. 3 probes do fall. And do we get eyes on the tech of choice? ByuN, he does not. He does not get behind the mineral line. The Twilight Council is unscouted. As it is going to be once again, Blink. ByuN, for the time being, is in the dark. Does have a Widowmine here in the center of the map. And can he catch out the Adept? Oh! Ooh, does get the Adepts. Nicely done. Will be cleaned up for it, though. As the Widowmine goes down. And back at home, we do see ByuN embracing his 1-1-1. Is getting to tank production. We have a tech lab on the way after the medevac. This could be tank into Banshee. Tank Banshee has been very trendy, especially on this map as well, because of the short resistance by air. Short resistance by air means that Banshee aggression can be favored here on El Dorado. Ooh, going for the Raven though. No Banshee. Is going Raven first, which actually follows what we've seen from ByuN every game so far. Widowmine drop into Raven harass. Sorry, I didn't say Raven instead of Banshee, but into Raven harass. So there's going to be Ravens here for ByuN. Extra racks is on the way. The hallucination does confirm the add-ons, does confirm the production as well. Astrea is aware. And we'll see if Astrea can minimize his losses. As ByuN does move out, he has that fast tank. So this army, even though it's small, it can actually pose quite a threat here to Astrea. As ByuN is sharking around. Runs into the Stalkers. Oh! Just run in. I love this little maneuver here from ByuN just for the Zelnaga. But the probe gets saved, and Astrea, he will shut that Marine down as well. Never mind. It was a cheeky move by ByuN, but Astrea, he does take control of that center area of the map, of the Zelnaga. Moving up with this probe, I imagine for some spotted pylons as well. And ByuN is building up towards Stim. He pulls back with the tank, Astrea getting his third base up and running. Forge on the way. Blink into charge. Okay, so we have the answer here. Astrea, last game, if you remember, Astrea, he rushed into Colossus. He went into a faster Robo, into a Bay, into Colossus production. This time, he's going to be delaying splash damage in favor of a mass Swarm Toss style. Blink Stalker into mass Charge Lot. As that's a lot of gateways, and no further tech yet. This can eventually lead into something like Storm and Archons, but for the time being, and for the near future, it's going to be very Zealous and Stalker heavy. As we get the auto turret into the main, 3 probes go down. Likewise, drop here on the right-hand side, but there is an army in position. Astrea is ready. He was ready. Is going to be distracted by the Raven, which means the third base is exposed. We'll be defending here in the natural instead. We'll see what ByuN can accomplish. He's waiting for Stim. Stim is finishing up in a couple of seconds. Meanwhile, the Bay has been thrown down. So it's not going to be into Storm and into Archons. Instead, it will eventually lead into Colossus. Eventually into Colossi. We can see Astrea, he's mining through these mineral patches here to expand at the gold. Double drop gets spotted. Astrea going for his own Zealot harass. Mentioned earlier how charge is already done. Oh no! The Prism is going to be spotted. And here comes the Stim, and the Prism will barely escape. Gets over to the other side of the wall. Does get away. That was almost disastrous. Likewise, ByuN getting his third on location. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the fastest third base that ByuN has gone for the entire series. Like, game 1 and game 2, ByuN was very aggressive on 2 bases and delayed his third. This time, less so, which I do appreciate. Meanwhile, the drop gets cleaned up, gets 5 probe kills. ByuN pulling back. Auto charge into the natural way. Not bad, getting 5 workers, but did cost him 2 medevacs though. It cost him a big chunk of bio. The base is now finishing, and with this faster third, we can now embrace the mid-game in a less chaotic game state than previously. ByuN, though, still being active. Prism towards the north. War Prism is on the way towards that third. ByuN doesn't commit to any aggression, he pulls back, which means he should be somewhat in position to defend. So Astrea has to hold off for a moment. Colossus are on the way. Let's go 1, soon to be 2. And again, ideally, Astrea shouldn't pull the trigger here until ByuN is active somewhere else. I mean, especially considering that the Observer does have eyes on the main army. He did have eyes on the main army. Observer gets sniped. Keen eyes are out of ByuN. We do have a replacement Observer, though. Does have eyes on the main army. So Astrea, he sees the move out. He sees the move out. Prism is going in. We have Zealots towards the towards the 3rd. Prism into the main. And Astrea's main army is trying to keep up with the army of ByuN. Does drop in. As Zealots in each mineral line, SCVs are going down. And ByuN pulls back home. He races back home. Is going to bleed out 6 SCVs so far. But the Vikings will hunt down the Prism in the main. And Astrea's going to have to unload. Main army pushing in. Does Astrea get the tank? He wants it. Oh, it doesn't get it though. It doesn't get the tank. It does survive. Astrea backs up. Gets 10 SCVs. The Prism escapes? How? The War Prism does get away. Somehow, some way. Does escape the clutches here of the Vikings. 12 SCVs in total. Not bad. ByuN is yet to commit. He does pick up, does unload. The Observer did spot that. And as the dust settles, as we're embracing a 4-base economy, Astrea is now being able to afford a second Robo and now Disruptors. So once again, Colossus into Disruptor. Now, this is a bit of a weaker composition nowadays. Well, it's a little bit different here. There's a bit of a give and take. In general, though, I would say it's a bit of a weaker composition here than it used to be, just because the Disruptors no longer one-shot Marauders and Immortals. I mean, they never did. But Marauders, they can now survive these Novas. And that's a lot of Marauders. So what you used to accomplish with 1 Nova, now you have to do with 2. See how Astrea can keep up with this. Nova's still one-shot Marines, and they still one-shot Ghosts. Bear that in mind. Stims in. Does stim in. Massive EMPs. Novas go up. No connections. Astrea, he has to retreat. Does have to back off. Because that the dynamic is a little bit different, and a player like ByuN can now take a risk and try to dive on these Disruptors a little bit easier. Potentially, I should say. So the armies are facing off. ByuN establishing a 4th. Astrea moving forward. Both armies are maxing out. We'll come down to the EMPs and to the Novas. EMPs do connect. They strip away the shields here with the Zealots of most of the Stalkers. Nova goes off. Up! Oh my god, takes down most of the Ghosts. Massive connection. The Ghosts go down. There's 1 Ghost left out of like 8. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that was a brutal fight, and ByuN, he plummets in supply. Oh my god, the final Ghost goes down. Colossus falls as well. But the split there was lackluster for ByuN. As we mentioned, Novas, they no longer one-shot Marauders, but Ghosts are still one and the same. That was brutal. That was how many Ghosts going down? That was 8. Yeah, 8 Ghosts falling in the one fell swoop. Now, Astrea did lose his Colossi, so he's backing off. Storm is now on the way. +1 air attack. Fleet Beacon. Astrea is getting ready for Sky Toss. Taking the center gold base as well. Let's go. Going for the gold. Nice snipe there on the Disruptor. There goes up. Gets a couple of Marines. But this tells us, of course, that Astrea is not going for the kill. Even though he did trade well and did out-trade ByuN, he backs off and he's getting further ahead tech-wise. And economically as well. Getting more bases, getting a better economy, and being able to afford Sky Toss as a result. He's working towards Tempest and Carrier. There's going to be a period in time before he gets there where maybe ByuN can break through. Storm is done. Never goes up. Raises 3 of those Marauders. They do survive. They'll be topped up. Fleet Beacon's on the way. Second Stargate as well. The Sky Toss is almost there. Likewise, ByuN is unaware of that center gold. Likewise, Astrea hasn't mined from it yet. Oh, Disruptor goes down. Nice snipe. Disruptor falls. Astrea going for the feedbacks instead. Ooh. Does feedback most of the goes. Every single goes even. So very nice pickups. As Astrea, he's just buying time. He has no intention of pushing past the halfway mark. He's just buying time here for the Tempest. As Tempests are on the way. And honestly, this is an amazing map for Sky Toss because of the terrain itself. I mean, there's just a natural defense here, a natural wall that you can use to your advantage. Where you can just shell away at the main base or the natural or even this gold with something like Tempest. So that is a scary thought. Never goes up. Ooh, no big connection though. Nice splits out of ByuN. He's diving in. Another over though. Massive storm. ByuN, he does take it to the face. He has to back off. And Astrea, he can take advantage here of this position once he gets there, though. Still making 4 Tempests at a time. Thankfully, ByuN is already making Vikings. Is amassing Vikings as we speak. Scan reveals Tempest. ByuN now knows. I do think it's going to be on ByuN here to try to open up these attack paths. Open things up, throw down more turrets. You could also argue that these Tempests are revealed a little bit early on. They could have been maybe rallied back at home to just build up over time, but have since been revealed. Ooh. Vikings, they don't yet scout to the gold base. It is now saturated. He's getting up and running. Astrea is getting away with it. I mean, that's why he has such a large mineral bank. So far, nice shots going off here on the army. ByuN, he does scouts. He's aware. Yeah, he's now aware he will bring this down. There's no saving this base. Astrea has to back up. And defending these southern bases are going to be that much more difficult here for Astrea. Does rotate, though. Does rotate over. I mean, this area is just so much more wide open. Jeez, how many Vikings is that? 14! 14 Vikings! It's crazy. EMP goes up. The Soul Zone gets thrown down, and ByuN has to back up here, has to respect it. Nice EMP on the mothership. Will survive. As the Vikings, they get a little bit ambitious. They take down one of the Tempests. They go for the mothership as well. Nice pickups. The flanking storms, though. Yeah, the storms are insane. Tempest coming for a flank as well. Here come the Zealot reinforcements. And has ByuN overextended? Looks like he has. Yeah, massive pickups. Leading out Ghosts, leading out Vikings. He was lured in. At the same time, Zealot Runway doesn't get much done. But ByuN did kill 15 probes. But Astrea, he has a bank. He's been building up this bank. And did maintain most of those Tempests as well. Likewise, ByuN has now finally saturated that gold. But Astrea can punish it. Yeah, he sees the mining. He rotates and he will deny mining here at the gold. Going for the CC. There is no tectonic destabilizers. Oh. Tempest have to be careful. Astrea calming down. ByuN takes top left. Astrea does scouts. Vikings, they go for the dive. They get 2 Tempests. Likewise, nice switch here against the Novas. Ooh, takes another Nova to the face. Storm on the Vikings. Vikings are going down. Astrea forces back the army. There's how many Vikings left? 9. Not bad. Still 9 Vikings. But ByuN, he resaturates the gold. He's maintaining himself. Despite these losses, ByuN, he still has a comparable army. Astrea does have to retreat for a moment here. Still very intense. ByuN going for the other center base. Oh my god. Storm's brutal. Rocks are knocked down. ByuN rotating over. As ByuN rotates, this northern expansion is going to be falling here. That's a lot of zealots. And it's a CC. It's an orbital. It's not a planetary. Mine shots, they get baited out. Zealots, they clean up. Ooh, and this base is exposed. We even have a storm. Oh my god. Storm goes off. Main armies do clash. Again, Astrea Heel's focusing elsewhere with the disruptors. They get caught out. Massive pickoffs. Astrea Heel's focusing on that northern fight. That's every disruptor falling, and ByuN is going for the dive. He's going for the kill. Vikings chase down the Tempest. The main army goes for the gold. 14 SCVs go down across the map. The Vikings are cleaned up, but they take down most of the Tempest. And the Nexus falls as well. Nice clean up here out of ByuN. It does come at a cost, though. As both players are hurting. Astrea did lose all of his splash damage. I mean, now there's no Storm, or Colossus, or Disruptors. He's playing with fire. He has to calm down. There we go. Going into Mass Archon. Okay. Building up his Archon count. I'm still concerned about the amount of EMPs that ByuN is available. Scans ahead of time, spots the army. I mean, Astrea needs something. And it takes a while here for Disruptors to build up. Oof. Heads up for a Storm. So far, so good. Both armies are maxed. Armies are maxed out. Astrea, he now has 4 Disruptors. How many Robos does he have? Only 2. At this point, we need like a 3rd and 4th Robo. At this point. More Robos would have been required. Nova's going up. These connections. Oh my god, the coasts go down. At least some of them. That's what, like 4 ghost kills. But there's still just a wave of bio. 15 probes go down. Astrea, he's hurting economically here. Oh my god, massive storm though. Storm on the Marines, there's no other storm left. Tempests are getting low. But where are the Vikings? 0 Vikings remaining here for ByuN. Tempest, they can kite. And they can trade well here. Despite that though, he still loses the mineral line. As 22 probe kills, even more. As ByuN is now making 6 Vikings at a time. Nice EMP. Oh, the Tempests are so low. Oh my god. That may just be too much. So many Tempests go down. Yeah, Astrea, he stopped kiting for a moment there. He stops kiting, and it looks like ByuN, he will put a point on the board. He finally overwhelms. Breaks through the main army, denied so much mining, so much bases. And ByuN has done it. We have a series, Pappy. He breaks through. Gets into one of the last mining bases here of Astrea, as he's mining out everywhere else, or just no mining, period. There's only a handful of Tempests left here for Astrea, and ByuN can just shut down these bases. Just rotate, go for the next side. Despite the Nexus, there's just no economy, no mining. More Tempests falling. Oh, gets another. So the Tempest lands in the EMP, brutal EMP on the High Templar. More High Templar coming in, but there's no Storm. Yeah, there's no Storm. And GG gets called. There's just not enough. ByuN will fight back. We'll put a point on the board, and we have a series. GG. Let's go. Oh my god. GG, well played. Despite that, that was still a very, very intense game number 3. Astrea had his own good moments, don't get me wrong. He was able to build up to a mass Tempest count. But there was that key moment, I feel, when, if you remember, Astrea went for the Zealot run by with the Storm, which we were also like focusing the camera on. And it was in that moment that ByuN dove on the Disruptors. And then we panned over and it clearly looked like Astrea was also being a little bit too attentive to that Northern harass, and he got caught out. He got caught with his pants down. That was the moment where Astrea lost all of his Disruptors, and he never really recovered from that moment. Lost the Disruptors, he lost the expansion right after that as well. That's when he lost control of the center of the map, as he was paying attention elsewhere, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Ooh. We do have a back and forth, and we're getting ready for game number 4. The question becomes, though, what map? Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Cast a curseless by mentioning the reverse sweep. But we want the ace match, though. That's what we want, more games. We're greedy like that, man. We want at least a game 5. At least. Here we go. As looks like we're still deciding our next map. There we go. Do have our lobby, and our map of choice is going to be Ley Lines. Okay, Ley Lines is likewise a very defendable map. We have seen many a player defend against aggression here on 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. We have seen even a split map scenario on Ley Lines as well. It's a smaller map, but because of all the choke points and all the ramps, I mean, we even featured Astrea earlier on this map against Young Yakov, if you recall, where Astrea was able to survive the all-in of Young Yakov and eventually outpace him. But we'll see if ByuN calms down. Like, ByuN has been so aggressive in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 3, ByuN went for a more macro approach. Could do the same here in Game 4. Could do the same. We'll see. Here we go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the American Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing himself. Currently teamless, but currently deserving to be on a team. Clearly, he's been popping off as of late, and he's still one game away from becoming this week's Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. It is Astrea. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Hello, Mr. Astrea. So he does dip in, going for the probe scout across the map. Now, every game so far in this series, ByuN has gone double gas, and it looks like that will still be the case. That will continue here, as a second gas gadget has been thrown down, and Astrea does confirm. He does confirm the 2 gas opener is aware. Now, we saw in Game 1, this led into a triple Widowmine drop. Game 2 was a double Widowmine drop, and Game 3, this led into an early tank move out, if you recall. It was like 1 Widowmine into a tank. Oh my god, as the probe goes down! That should not have happened. That's a bit of an earlier loss there for Astrea. Being a little bit cheeky there, trying to get that SCV. Does delay the racks by a couple of seconds, but does go down. With that, he does send out his second probe. Second worker moves out. Reaper's on the way for ByuN. And behind this, ByuN is going for the factory, a little bit further back. And Astrea has to try to confirm that follow-up. Whether it's going to be the reactor, whether there's that CC or not. Reaper is scouting, and no shot. ByuN, he finds it! He finds the second probe. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal loss there for Astrea. Second probe goes down. And ByuN can now expand. He can now expand freely, and Astrea is going to be further in the dark. ByuN is scouting, looking for any kind of proxy, any aggression. Just does check the linear third. And we get eyes on Astrea's tech of choice. It is going to be a Twilight Count. Okay. It's going to be Twilight Council into Blink, I would imagine. So once again, a Blink-based opener out of Astrea. We go. See some people talking about Tempest in the chat. I mean, I'm not opposed to Astrea's Skytoss transition. As he was being very efficient with the Tempest, it was just it was just a really rough moment in the center map when he lost momentum. Otherwise, I do think that he could have continued to deny the gold. He definitely. Last, it wasn't the case, of course. It wasn't the case. As the armies, they do trade in the center of the map. ByuN behind this. Still just expanding, getting to his own Widowmine drop. Once again, 2 Widowmines, one at the natural, one in the main. Soon to move out. ByuN will reposition. Astrea does confirm, of course, the expansion. Astrea will intercept the Reaper. Up! Will deny the scouts. Won't quite shut it down, though. Astrea, he wants it. Does want the Reaper. Reaper gets away. Meanwhile, ByuN moving out. Ooh, not just with Widowmines this time, with Marines as well. Okay, so a little bit more committed here by ByuN. With the addition of these Marines, ideally the Widowmines don't go off in the mineral line. Ideally, they actually go off on the Adepts and Stalkers, and the Marines instead are going to be the ones focusing on probes. Focusing down those workers. We'll see. As ByuN does make his way towards the natural, Reaper into the main. Does distract us, pull Astrea away into the main base as well. And probes are going to fall. Do you have a reinforcing a Stalker? Once again, the ideally Widowmine does want to zone away the Stalkers. Stalkers are forced back. Ooh, 1 Widowmine shot goes off on a probe. Not ideal. 3 probe kills, and ByuN, he will get away. We'll get the hell out of here, and he will not lose a single unit. Very nicely done. Very efficient, I should say. ByuN gets 3 probes, gets out. Astrea looking for that drop. Takes the third. Does take a third base. Once again, 3-gate blink to a third. Adept shades into the main. Gets eyes on the production. Confirms that there's no 3cc follow-up. And that there are additional tanks. Okay, much earlier tank production here from ByuN. He's already got 2. Meanwhile, Astrea, instead of going for charge, if you recall last game, Astrea, he went from blink into charge into +1, went for a delayed Colossus. This time, much faster. This time, much faster Colossus production from Astrea. Is going to be more defensive as a result. But ByuN is already moving out with their first 2 tanks. The tanks are spotted. Oh, it might be too late to make that first immortal. Widowmine drop here into the natural. Astrea does pull away. So far, both players micro on 2 fronts. Astrea, he does pull back, picking up a couple of Marines here and there. Oh! Nice blinks. Tries over the mine shots. Ooh, but 1 Stalker goes down. Astrea, he does hold on to the natural. At the same time, ByuN trying to maneuver here with his main army. Now up to 3 tanks. Astrea trying to keep up with the rotations. Oh, finds a medevac. Not bad. Medevac goes down. ByuN getting his third on location. So it looks like ByuN has no real intention of pushing into the third base. He's expanding and hoping to try to catch the army in the center of the map. The observer does confirm. Astrea, he spots this. Oh! Observer gets shut down. Nice pick off by ByuN. ByuN is slowly pushing forward, getting within range of the Stalkers. Ooh, tank boys go up. 1, 2 Stalkers go down. Very nice wiggles here by ByuN. Nice attention to detail. Meanwhile, the first Colossus has arrived. Extended lance on the way. Now we see Astrea going into delayed charge and +1. We'll get there. This charge is done and +1 is now going to be on the way. And ByuN, he's just vying for map control. Astrea confirms. Astrea does get eyes on the third TC, so he knows that ByuN is being more economic. Very similar to last game, and that's a green light for Astrea to expand. So Astrea does take a fourth. ByuN is still being active though, he's not being passive. We have a drop threatening the natural, and likewise the main army pushing in towards the fourth. Pylon does confirm. Astrea, he responds. Doesn't have much to work with though. The tanks are sieging up. ByuN not fast enough. He has to back up. Sorry, Astrea not fast enough, he has to back up. ByuN is in position. Slowly pushing forward. The tanks, they're getting within range of the Nexus. Oh, the bait on the wind mine. Nah, not quite. ByuN does unburrow the Zealous. They dive on the army. They're getting on top of the tanks. The tanks, they will go down. They get a couple of volleys up. But Astrea's holding. Astrea does barely hold. Ooh, we still had to cancel the expansion though. On the one hand, that is a good pick-off by ByuN, canceling the fourth. On the other hand, it did cost him 3 tanks. That was an expensive trade for ByuN. Losing 3 tanks for a base. From here, he's going to be reinforcing once again, hoping to keep up the momentum and deny the fourth base for a second time. He is spotted though. Astrea's getting ready. Astrea's in position. ByuN splits up. Splits off into 2 armies. Observer is spotted. Astrea does have enough to collapse on this, so ByuN has to be careful. And as ByuN distracts, he slips into the natural. And Astrea, he's out of position. Goes for the warp in. Goes for the recall as well. Zealots are cleaned up. Pylon goes down. Depowers the Robo. And this is a brutal trade here for Astrea. At the same time, the fourth base is cancelled. Ay, ay, ay. Astrea, he just cannot expand. And he's being pulled apart. It's just becoming too much at this point. Colossus goes down. And ByuN, he's getting out of control. Going for the final Colossus. He wants it. Up. Up. He doesn't quite get it, though. Doesn't get it, but denying the fourth base is still enough damage. As now ByuN has an economic lead, and that's why ByuN is skyrocketing ahead in supply. Worker counts are comparable here, but, I mean, mules. You know, ideally, the Protoss wants to be up a base compared to the Terran. That's not happening here. As yeah, Astrea, he's just being bullied back. He just cannot expand. Goes to the force fields. Colossus goes down. Massive overextension. The force fields are buying a lot of time, but ByuN, he just drops over. He picks up. He drops over the wall instead. Going for the Stalkers. GG gets called, and ByuN snowballs out of control. He will take game 4, and we are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We are going to game 5. Again, Astrea just had a really hard time keeping up with the movement of ByuN. The initial defense was good, don't get me wrong, but we saw that ByuN, he was able to split off. He was able to catch Astrea out of position multiple times, and Astrea, he was just spread a little bit too thin between his 4-base setup. Barely could not keep up, barely could not hold on. And with that, we're going all the way to the final game of the series and of the tournament. We're going to be loading into Snowpiercer. Oh boy. Snowpiercer is up next. It is the, I believe, largest map in the new map pool. Very large map. And there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, it takes longer for the army to move out, so longer for reinforcements to arrive. True. On the other hand, though, because it's so large, the bases are also quite spread out as well. They are spread out, so I do feel like we might see a similar dynamic where Astrea is going to try to defend his 3rd and his 4th, and it's going to be on ByuN to pull him apart. That can change, though, if Astrea gains map control instead. If Astrea is the aggressor, we could see something different. I would not be opposed to seeing something like a Stargate opener here on Snowpiercer. At the same time, ByuN has yet to open up into a Rax Expand. He's gone double gas every single game. He's been going for these more aggressive and more assertive styles. More assertive builds. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say what to go for here. There's a lot of mind games, I feel, just because of how aggressive ByuN has been and what Astrea wants to try to get away with. We'll see. We shall see. Also watching Snowpiercer, the class struggle train movie. Is that the movie where the train has like different like levels, of like of class? Yeah. Oh no! Hold on. I'm not playing against ByuN. Get me out of here. I haven't seen that, I've only heard of it. It's like post-apocalyptic, right? It's like a nuclear apocalypse where like there's a train that can't go less than 70 miles per hour, otherwise it's gonna explode. It's gonna the train just keeps going. It can't stop. There's no brakes on this train. Let's go. So getting into the ace match. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Snowpiercer, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, fighting back in that last game and forcing the ace match. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. He had such a strong start to the series with a 2-0 lead, but now he's been brought to the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Astrea. That is a quote from the movie. I'm tired of these goddamn snakes, this goddamn train. I'm paraphrasing. True. They had to get to the tip of the train to cast the ring into the fire. Let's go. And then he found out he was his father. So, oh no. So we are settling in. For now, we do have no crazy proxies, no crazy openers here. We do have everything back at home. Just a double gas opener once again out of ByuN. Likewise, Astrea going for the gate expand. So far, so good. Exactly. It's a sequel to Willy Wonka. Ah, I see. As Astrea does pull away, this time does not lose the probe early on, thank God. Does pull back, and again, we can embrace Snowpiercer. Again, these bases, they are, in a way, I want to say they're a little bit secure in the fact that we do have a lot of ramps in position, we do have some choke points as well, but as we mentioned before, they are quite spread out as well. So we saw how effective ByuN could be with his multi-pronged aggression. We saw that in the previous game on ley lines, just pulling Astrea apart left and right, and I feel like he'll have the opportunity to do so here as well. We'll see if Astrea can keep up. For the time being, Stargate. Let's go. Stargate opener out of Astrea. This makes the most sense on a larger map. Stargate is more viable. The reason for this, Stargate openers do leave you vulnerable. They leave you vulnerable to early game aggression, to early game move outs, but the likelihood of that happening here on Snowpiercer is that much smaller. Or even if they try to pull that off, it's going to be less effective, ideally. So it is going to be Stargate play into, I imagine, Phoenixes. Meanwhile, double Adept into the main. Ooh, sorry, double Reaper into the main, but the Adept is in position. And Astrea does hold. Does hold on. ByuN rotating back around. Behind this, getting to his own Widowmine drop. 1-1-1 into Widowmines, into Medevac. The Reaper Hellion looking for a way in. And they do get into the natural. Do threaten the mineral line. Shield battery will keep all the probes alive, and ByuN gets the hell out of there. Does pull back. Pulls away. Greatest movie filmed is District 9. Besides District 9. I mean, I love prawns. I love them. But it's so good. It is a good movie. It is good. It's a classic. Smooch. Did they end up making like an actual Halo movie yet? I feel like No, they made a TV show, right? Like from dusk till dawn or something. It was Master Chief against vampires. As ByuN is going to be calming things down, going for his mind drop, of course. No. What are movies anymore? As Astrea going for his third, Reaper Hellion will scout, will confirm. And I assumed it was going to be a Stargate Phoenix opener, but no, Stargate into Oracle instead. Okay. Never mind. Is going to Oracles, does get a scout, does confirm the at least production setup here of ByuN. What's it called? Breaking Dawn? I don't remember what the Halo show was called. Aye. As for now, we are settling in. And again, because it's a bit of a larger map, there's that much less aggression as well. I mean, ByuN, he opted not to go for his drop yet. There we go. Widowmine drop now moving out. For the most part, though, staying back at home. Astrea does gain map control. Did go for a later Blink, but Blink is now finishing up. And Astrea, his goal here is to contain ByuN on 2 bases. As a result, though, as he's focusing here outside of the natural, Astrea will miss the Widowmines. Widowmines, they do get across the map. From dawn till dusk, it's just a guy working at the office. Oh, relatable. Oh, no. Not like this. Smooch. I mean, I'd watch that. Dawn till dusk. Featuring Danny Trejo, of course. Has to feature him. As Widowmine drop does come in, ooh, does pull away in time. Likewise, Widowmine drop into the main, but so far Astrea, he is handling himself quite well here. Oh my god! Did I speak too soon? Not quite. Does pull away in time. Likewise, Stasis here on the main army will delay the push. And Astrea does hold. 2 probes so far for Widowmine. The other did escape. But the Stalkers are ready. Phoenix on the way as well. Astrea, he's learned his lesson. He's going to deal with these Widowmines one way or another. Likewise, working towards Storm, building up High Templar energy as well. Storms are set up. And the game is going to slow down. We have a third CC on the way. So, despite the intensity, despite the chaos of this series so far, and again, there's been almost non-stop action in most of these games. Here in the Ace match here on Snowpiercer, we're calming things down. We're easing into a 3, now 4 base setup for Astrea. Likewise, third CC almost done for ByuN, taking up into a Ghost Academy as well. We're gearing up. We are gearing up. Light feels seen and he hates it. What do you mean? What? Oh no. It's just we've gone down a rabbit hole of like referencing movies, and now we don't even know what we're referencing anymore. Smooch. Thankfully, nothing too insane has been happening. It's okay. It's okay. Let's be honest. It does take his third. Now we kind of embrace the more back and forth. I mean, in this kind of game state here, especially with how, in a sense, passive we have been, we could try to cut some extra corners as well. I mean, the armies are about to clash. ByuN does move out, knocking down those rooks. Astrea does spot this, is aware. Moving in with that High Templar. He's ready with the storms. Likewise, no Ghost with the army. Not yet. I'm ready for it. Likewise, Astrea holding his breath. Waiting for his moment as well. The Bay is on the way. Second Robo into Colossus, into Disruptor. ByuN rotating around. Nice. So just posturing, pal. And with 4 High Templar behind this, I don't really see ByuN being able to push in. I mean, does have the EMP. Does fight for map control. Back at home, making 2 Colossus at a time. Astrea securing his army. Gets a revelation off. Oh! Oh my god! The flanking storm! Grazes the army here of ByuN. I didn't even notice a High Templar. Does connect. ByuN, he gets the hell out of there. He's like, I want none of this. I'm good. Pulls back and he's just gearing up and getting into additional Ghost production and Vikings as well. Vikings are building up. Astrea going for a Zealot run by, but ByuN is already back at home. Astrea likewise pulls away. And once we get into those 6 gases, once we get into our 4th and soon to be 5th base, that's when we can start taking even further. For now, both armies are about to max. About to max out. Disruptor production has begun for Astrea. Disruptors are on the way. 4th CC. Going to be floating over. And it's all going to be about positional play here at this point. ByuN, he has his sensor towers. Astrea, he has spotter pylons all over the place. Observers as well. We'll see who catches who. Oh. Observer gets caught out. Spotter Marine. Astrea rotates around. He goes for the 4th. But ByuN is ready. Nice feedbacks. Storm as well. The High Templar will fall for it. So a bit of a trade. Meanwhile, Sensor Tower does spot the army rotation. Observer does get away just barely. Oh, the Ghost. He gets 1. 1 Ghost goes down. But especially with this bank, this is where I would want to see this set up here for Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. Now pushing in. Zealous, they hit the natural. ByuN keeps up. Meanwhile, the 3rd base is exposed to the mineral. Oh my god, the mineral line. Storm takes down 7 SCVs. Oh, Nova goes off. Massive connection. And the splits are not there for ByuN. But does he need them? He sims in. Oh my god. He sims and he wins. He breaks through. Likewise, a flanking storm. The army is actually over-simmed. Jesus. Another storm. Astrea backs off. And we calm down. Now, in the midst of all of this, ByuN did lose half his mineral line, so he does come out worse for wear. But he did reset the Colossus counts, Disruptors, and High Templar. Astrea only escapes with the Gateway Army. This is also where I said before where I would appreciate something like a 3rd and 4th Robo, just to reinforce that much faster. As Astrea has to start from scratch. Down to 2 Disruptors. So we get another good storm here. Storm does land. Armies are rotating. The sensor tower wasn't rebuilt, so Astrea actually isn't spotted. Uh-oh. ByuN doesn't know. Doesn't spot the armies. Does scan though, does spot the army. Massive EMP. Nervous go up. When they do connect. Brutal connections here. ByuN once again, he takes the face. The surround! Zealot coming from behind. We have landed Vikings. That's the main army. The storms are brutal and ByuN loses everything. The Vikings, the ByuN, GG gets caught in one fell swoop. ByuN gets surrounded and Astrea will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. I mean, again, the game was very intense. We saw a slow build-up, I will say, slow build-up. It was very tense when it came to the 2 players facing off and maneuvering and trying to outposition each other. The fight was quite close is what I will say. The initial fight where Astrea lost all of his high-tech units, where ByuN lost half his mineral line. From there, we were still kind of neck and neck, but alas, Astrea, he got the better of ByuN. As we mentioned, the sensor towers were not rebuilt, and ByuN was not fully aware of where the army was unprepared for that surround. Whether it was the storms, whether it was the zealots as well. GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. Astrea, he will take it in the end 3-2. Congratulations. Oh, just messaging the players. Just messaging the players here. And if you want to help support these two players, you can do so via Matcherino. !Matcherino in the chat. Oh, don't forget. Astrea, he said, La tortuga es mío, papi. Oh, let's go. True, but GG, well played. Again, ! Matcherino, you can help fund and help boost the prize pool for our players. As a reminder here for the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, we actually pay out top 4. Top 4 players do get paid out, not just top 2, so we do spread the love here to our semi-finalists. Likewise, you can also support us via Patreon as well. Patreon does not fund this tournament, it funds the Sparkling Tuna Cup instead, but you can support our tournaments that way nonetheless. Oh, GG. And again, there were so many people concerned about Astrea. They're like, yo, papi, he had a 2-0 lead. Reverse sweep? Question mark. Is it going to happen? Is it going to occur? I mean, almost, but nah. Have faith, papi. Have faith in Max Angel. GG. GG. Catching up. The caster avoids punishment. Oh, no. Not like this. He claims he wanted the ace match, but I feel like I've seen Astrea get reverse swept a lot. Could be wrong. I mean, it happens, right? And ByuN is good enough to pull something like that off as well. But, you know, we got the most out of it. GG, well played. Also, shout out to ByuN as well for competing as hard as he did, for making a series out of this, and for making the finals as memorable as it was. Again, I do recommend, if you missed out on the beginning of the series, I do recommend Game 1 and Game 2. The first 2 games were wild. I do feel like that was the highlight of the series. It slowed down a little bit more from there. But Game 1 and Game 2 definitely set a tone, and they set the pace for the series in the end, and I do recommend. Likewise, congratulations, of course, to Astrea. We have seen Astrea defeat ByuN before in these open cups. Like, Astrea and ByuN, they've been going back and forth. If you haven't been able to watch some of those previous series, I do recommend some of the previous weeks of Tenacious Turtle Tussle, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and Piggo Sword Monday as well. Astrea and ByuN, they've actually been facing relatively frequently these past couple of weeks, whether it's in semifinals or the grand finals as well. So it's been cool to see them face off as often as they do. I don't know if I would say it's a rivalry yet. They don't face off as often as like Shin and ByuN, for example, but it's been you know, a more regular occurrence. And we'll see if that trend continues here. They do go back and forth. In series. Clearly, you can see that they are comparable in skill to each other. And again, it's been great to see the rise of Astrea over the past couple of months. Just to reiterate, Astrea, he was in Korea a couple of months ago alongside many other players, alongside Clem, alongside Trigger. They were all staying in a team house together to kind of provide that training or that team house experience to focus on improving in StarCraft. And I mean, we saw some of that come into play when it comes to EWC, but I do feel like some of the residual effects of being in that environment, of that practice, of that kind of setup, of that scenario is now being shown here in the aftermath. Post EWC, in the off season, we've seen Astrea and Trigger do so well. Clem, of course, has maintained himself 100%, but it's been great to see the growth of some of the NA players as well. GG, well played. They've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of time. I also don't want to take away from the fact that Astrea has been very active. He's been very active, especially in some of these tournaments that are unfriendly to NA players, like really NA, like really rough time zones or really time slots for NA, like the Sparkling Tuna Cup, for example. But Astrea has been on the grind. He has been grinding. He has been improving. And yeah, we'll see that come to fruition when the next big event comes around. Next big event. I am still a little bit sad that we do have Home Story Cup around the corner and we don't have NA representation. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Trigger or Astrea are going to be a part of Home Story Cup. They are inviting some Koreans, but I don't think there's any, you know, NA players there. It would have been nice if there was like 1 or 2 NA players, you know, for that event. I know it is quite expensive, of course, to fly players over, but still would have been nice for some representation there. Regardless, Home Story Cup is going to be in a couple of weeks. We will be a part of it. Still yet to be confirmed, but keep an eye open for the Cranky Ducklings being involved in Home Story Cup in some way. Last Home Story Cup, we were the official B stream. We were the B stream for Home Story Cup. For the next one, might be the same. Might be the same thing. We might be another B stream for Home Story Cup. 2 in a row. Possible. Likewise, when it comes to other events that are occurring, Cheeseadelphia is on the horizon as well. That's going to be in like 3 weeks, question mark. It's going to be in a couple of weeks. We do have Cheeseadelphia. I do not know if Astrea is going to be there. I'm unfamiliar. I'm unfamiliar if he's going to be at Cheese or not, but I do know that I believe players like Vindicta, Epic, Dolan, there's going to be plenty of NA representation at that North American tournament. Whether or not Astrea goes there, yet to be determined. We will find out. We will see. But that's also going to be on the channel. I have confirmation that we will be casting Cheeseadelphia. That is going to be on the 7th of December. God damn it. I was like, yo, Astrea, you going to Cheese? And he's like, when is it? Don't know what it is, Pappy. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Oh, but thank you so much for the bits as well, for the 100 bits in the chat. God, Pappy, thank you for the bits. Do appreciate it. Oh. Not as calm as light. Oh no. Likewise, we also got another contribution here on Matcherino. Blakadooz. Oh my god, thank you, Pappy, thank you. God, thank you so much for the 10 USD on Matcherino. Again, all the money on Matcherino goes to the players. It's all you know, transparent there with where the money goes. Will all go to the top 4 players of the tournament. So thank you so much to Blakadooz, a long-time supporter in the chat. Thank you, do appreciate it. And with that will conclude our broadcast for the morning. That's going to be concluding our broadcast. For those that are curious, what is the Tenacious Turtle? What's going on? This is a bi-weekly Open Cup. Every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks we do host this event. Does have a pretty hefty prize pool, of course, and does attract, you know, players from Korea, from Europe, from the Americas as well. Today we had a bit of a smaller bracket, a bit of a shorter broadcast, but still some amazing games nonetheless. Some amazing series, amazing turnout. Thank you so much for those that did take part here tonight. Do appreciate it. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with the next edition of the Turtle Tussle. But in the meantime, we have plenty of other content. We have Sparkling Tunica, we have the Wardy TV Mondays, we have the Pigosor Mondays, alongside many other events as well. Quickly checking our calendar, our next stream is going to be in how many hours time? 7. In 7 hours time, we're going to be live on this channel, not with a tournament, but with a talk show. We have the podcast. Every single week we do host the podcast, just going over the week's tournaments and the week's results. We go over the news in StarCraft, most likely. What are we going to be going over this week? Just outside of just the tournament results, we have some player swaps, some roster changes. ZombieGov released an interview with Dongray Gu. True. DRG did have an interview that was released a couple of days ago. Most likely we're going to be talking about that as well. And any other content that's happening in StarCraft, any other news, we'll be going over. So again, that's going to be in 7 hours if you're interested for an SC2 news-related podcast, or podcast, if you will. Our next tournament cast is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be casting the StarCraft Evolution League Group C. If you're curious, what is the StarCraft Evolution League? StarCraft Evolution is a mod. It is a mod that brings together Brood War and SC2. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun casting that event on a bi-weekly basis. There have been Open Cups, but now we have the full championship. An end-of-year championship for that mod. We covered Group A and Group B over the past couple of days. Yesterday and the day before that was Group A and B. Tomorrow is going to be Group C, and the day after that is going to be Group D. And then, over the weekend, is the playoffs. The playoffs of the StarCraft Evolution League, they're going to be live. Not on this channel, we're going to be going over the replays afterwards, but plenty of content over the next week, mainly StarCraft Evolution focused. The next SE2 tournament that we cast is going to be on Sunday, is going to be Sparkling Tuna Cup. So that is the plan. That is the plan for the next week. And then next week after that is Home Story Cup. Gee, it's right around the corner. Jesus. Oh my god. My sleep schedule is going to be ruined, Papi. It's going to be ruined. Oh no. Home Story Cup is always brutal just because it's in the European time zone, but we'll make do. We'll make do. So yeah, exciting stuff. Exciting times ahead of us. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support as well. And again, we'll see you guys when we see you, whether it's later tonight, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's next week, whenever we see you. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Hope you enjoy your time here. You can follow us on the social medias, exclamation mark socials in the chat if you want to tune in, if you want to check out our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We do stream both on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. Because of that, VODs are available on YouTube immediately. So if you missed out, if you want to tune into some VOD content, we got you covered over on YouTube. YouTube is the place to be. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I do apologize, I haven't been able to stream recently. Haven't been able to stream, haven't been able to ladder, just because we've been so busy casting. And on top of that, if you were here yesterday, you would know that I did order some new components to build a new PC, and it's coming together. Right now, I'm trying to set it up, and it takes a lot of time to set up. Oh no, it's also a little bit loud, which is concerning to me. But I'm not using it yet. I have to like set up OBS and all the profiles and casting tool and StarCraft, and it's gonna take a while to set up. But once I do, it would hopefully benefit the stream. Hopefully, when it comes to the streaming, when it comes to rendering VODs, and when it comes to streaming other content as well. So yeah, exciting stuff. I haven't upgraded my PC since 2016, so it's been a while. it's been a while since the last upgrade. So exciting times to come. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.